It's with great pleasure that I get to introduce our one and only speaker tonight. He's an admired and favored professor at Grand Valley State University, a writer, historian, national speaker, an adjunct faculty member at Aquinas College, and a popular lecturer at Aquinas. And he's the current director of the Ralph Hauenstein Center for Presidential Studies. Gleaves Whitney.
I told him to keep it short, and he did. Thank you, Greg. It's great to join so many friends of Aquinas College tonight and friends of Bob and Judy, and it's been great to sit at this table next to Bob and see all of the people who have approached him and the love and the appreciation, the support that's expressed. And I just want to say that I think Aquinas once again has thrown a great party tonight. I just didn't know how much those Dominicans rock. Now, Bob warned me to say just nice things about him and Judy because he gets to speak after I do. And Bob, I want to assure you, by the time I finish, this crowd will want to recruit you to run and be a candidate for President of the United States. Because you would certainly be an improvement over some of the candidates we've seen out there. Now, are you all laughing because that was a bad joke, or is it the truth? Bob, on a serious note, our hearts go out to Judy, and that goes to your whole family who are here tonight. And we know she's still recuperating, and we know that she couldn't be with us here this evening, but we know she's here in spirit, and we are with her in spirit. When Shyla first approached me about saying a few words on behalf of Bob and Judy, I was honored. There was no question I would say yes. Shyla is a force of nature, as those of you who know her. But Bob and Judy, of course, have given so much to this community in so many ways, and I thought it'd be a great honor to say something about them. Now, just a few days before Shyla asked me to speak, I had been teaching a class at Ollie. I'd been teaching on the ancient Greeks, and Bob and Judy were there, and I can still see Judy. There she was with the New York Times in her lap, just in case things started to get a little dull. In any case, one of the points that I made was that the ancient Greeks, as you know, invented democracy. But they also invented something that we talk less about. They invented the idea of heroic citizenship. Heroic citizenship. The qualities of heroic citizenship are defined by what this Emeritus Award is about. I went back and looked and compared my notes to what is said in the Emeritus Award. Heroic citizens are courageous and do what is right, even at great personal cost when necessary. Heroic citizens see the dignity in each human being, which is why they are dedicated to the welfare of all. They give to the community through leadership, generosity, and service sustained over many years. Then they serve as a light to guide those who follow. Well, I think tonight's recipients certainly demonstrate all these qualities and in abundance. Allow me to elaborate just a bit. Bob and Judy certainly show us what courage looks like. Now, when Judy was 15 years old, she had a spinal tap that revealed that she had contracted polio. She was admitted to Mary Free Bed, and a doctor told her that she would never walk normally again. Well, if you know Judy, you know that she was determined to beat the odds. She fought back, she worked really hard to perfect her tennis game, and she got really good at it. And that's how Bob met her. It goes back to a day when Judy and a friend were playing tennis at Calvin College. And Bob and a friend came to the tennis court, and they saw Judy and her friend playing, and Bob said, "Why don't we play doubles?" Hearing just enough of a challenge in Bob's voice, Judy accepted, and she and her partner went on to crush the boys in the ensuing match. Afterwards, they went out for a soda at Loveland Drugstore. Don't you love the name, Loveland Drugstore? And you know the rest of the story, which is now more than 6 decades long. And luckily for us, it is a story that is still being written. Judy's physical challenges never stopped her. Didn't stop her from having 4 children, or developing a career as a teacher, or giving to her community, or consistently beating Bob at tennis. Bob has also shown courage. For one thing, he kept playing tennis knowing he was going to get beat pretty bad. Moreover, he served his country in uniform, but he has also served close to home. Their son David says, and I'm quoting, "If there were such a thing as a Husband of the Century award, I'd give it to my dad. He is just the most caring husband to my mom and everything that she's been through. I've never once heard my dad complain. He's a great role model for all the rest of us." Well, in addition to their courage, Bob and Judy also show us a spirit of service inspired by their deep religious faith. What a team. What a team you all have been in this community. In all 3 sectors of our society, whether it's having to do with public service or for-profit or philanthropic sectors, you have left a large footprint that shows others the path to heroic citizenship. Ever since Bob received his first paycheck working for Peter Cook, the Hookers tithed to charity. It was a rule of life that was not only inspired by Peter's personal example, but also by their abiding faith in God's generosity. As a result of that faith, many, many institutions in West Michigan bear their imprint. In fact, you would be hard-pressed, as I look at the resume, as I look at the write-ups, the biographies of Bob and Judy, you would be hard-pressed to think of a major West Michigan institution that did not benefit from their time serving on boards and advising leaders, hospitals, educational institutions, civic organizations, historic preservation, grand action. The list goes on and on and on. They've all benefited. Throughout our community, the Hookers have helped plant the acorns that are now becoming mighty oaks. As their friend Don Lubbers put it, and I'm quoting, "Bob and Judy have been difference makers. As community builders, they are always at the center, bringing about change for the better." It's no accident that because of the Hookers and other community leaders like them, Grand Rapids has rebounded spectacularly to become one of the best cities anywhere in the United States. And that resurgence is perhaps the most eloquent tribute to Bob and Judy and their friends and the professionals in this community who've worked so hard to make home a little bit better. Finally, Bob and Judy show us that heroic citizenship is founded on strong families. Wow, was I impressed when I heard some of the stories. When I recently asked Bob and their son David to tell me the secret of a good family life, they both told me that they live by a rule: it's one for all and all for one. Their family knows how to have fun together, whether it's on the ski slope or the golf course, where Judy still holds the family record of 3 holes in 1. And they also know the importance of forgiveness and compassion and showing respect for one another in their dealings. When I asked Bob what he was most proud of when he thinks of his children, he said, "Oh, that's simple. Every one of them, Bob, David, Annie, Joe, every one of them is a giver, Courage, a spirit of sacrifice and service inspired by faith, strong family bonds. These are the traits of heroic citizenship. Bob and Judy have it, live it, teach it, share it, model it for everybody in this room. One last thought. Through the ages, philosophers have debated whether it is more important to live a good life or a significant life. Well, Bob and Judy have both goodness and significance. So congratulations are in order for receiving the 2015 Norbert Ruby Emeritus Award. You, Bob and Judy, are our heroes. Thank you.